Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can perform a Brunner Munzel test with Python and my stikpetP library. I'm using a Jupyter Notebook with a Python version 3.12.7 kernel. I'm going to be focusing on how to just obtain the results, not so much if you should be using this test and how to interpret all the results. To show you how you can actually perform the test just itself, I'll need some example data, so I'll load in pandas and then some data from a survey among students. I don't actually need all of its data, I just need an ordinal field, so I'm going to be using the how much they thought, what they thought about the mixture of the number of activities. As you can see, that is ordinal. However, it's not actually text, so I want to have the coding as a dictionary where each category gets assigned a number. And for the nominal variable, or actually the binary variable, I'm going to be using gender because only male and female were selected in this survey. My library is available via GitHub only, so you will need to put in the full link to my GitHub, and then you can import it just as any other library. Once it's loaded, you can use the TS Brunner Munzel function I made with of course, the binary field and the ordinary field, the ordinal field. If you have more than two categories, then you can specify which two categories to use. The levels, that's for that coding, and you can choose to use either a T distribution, which is the default, or a Z distribution. Let's take it for a spin. Simply type in the name of the function, we feed it the two fields that it needs and the coding, and we should get ourselves some basic information. The estimated variance, the smallest of the two sample sizes, the test statistic, a W I think it's in for this test, degrees of freedom to be used, and the p-value itself. It also shows what the two categories were and a quick description of which test was used. Usually if that p-value is below 0.05, we would then say there is a significant result, and we would say something like that the two categories think differently. There's also a permutation or studentized permutation version available, so if you're interested in that, that will take much longer to actually run because it's going over a lot of different possibilities. And that only then returns a p-value, if I'm not mistaken, because yeah, it's only doing the permutation test. Takes a little bit longer. Oh, it actually does give a little bit more the number of iterations, the observed of the original value, so that's the same as that one. How many were above, how many were below, and therefore the approximated p-value. Alright, I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching.